The day I emptied my savings account, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely type in my password. $48,000 gone in a single wire transfer. But that's what you do for family, right? That's what I kept telling myself as I watched my balance drop to triple digits. My name is Teresa, and I've always been the responsible one. While my younger brother partied through college on my parents' dime, I worked 3 jobs, maintained a 4.0 GPA, and graduated debt-free. I built my freelance design business from scratch, living on ramen and coffee until I could afford real groceries. "Baby, we wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious," Mum's voice cracked over the phone that morning. I could hear Dad in the background, his breathing heavy with what I thought was worry. "The hospital bills. They're going to take the house." "How much do you need?" I asked, already logging into my bank account. "We're short 48,000, Dad said, taking over the call. "Teresa, princess, I hate asking you for this. You know we wouldn't if—" "It's okay, Dad," I interrupted, trying to sound stronger than I felt. "Family first, right? That's what you always taught us." "You're an angel," Mum whispered. "We'll pay you back as soon as we can." I initiated the transfer, watching the loading bar inch forward. My throat felt tight. This was everything I'd saved since college, my emergency fund, my future down payment, my security blanket. The confirmation email pinged in my inbox. "Done." "Sent," I said, forcing cheerfulness into my voice. "Just keep me updated on how things go with the hospital, okay?" "Of course, mi amor," Dad replied. "We'll call you tomorrow." They didn't call tomorrow or the next day. When I finally reached Mum a week later, she sounded distracted. "Oh, we're handling it," she said vaguely. "Don't worry yourself about it. How's work?" I buried myself in projects to rebuild my savings, picking up extra clients and working weekends. My best friend Jasmine noticed the dark circles under my eyes during our weekly coffee dates. "Girl, you look exhausted," she said, sliding an extra espresso shot my way. "When's the last time you took a break?" "Can't afford breaks right now," I mumbled, pulling up another project deadline on my phone. "I need to get back to where I was." "Your parents say anything about paying you back?" I shook my head. "They're probably busy dealing with everything. You know how medical billing can be." Jasmine gave me a long look, but didn't push it. 2 months passed. I was mindlessly scrolling Instagram one night, too tired to sleep, when a familiar face stopped my thumb mid-swipe. My brother Landon, tagged in a photo by some influencer named Malachi West. The image showed Landon lounging in a yacht's jacuzzi, designer sunglasses perched on his nose, holding up a bottle of champagne that probably cost more than my monthly rent. The location tag read Monaco. I blinked hard, thinking I was hallucinating from exhaustion. But the image didn't change. Neither did the timestamp, posted just 3 weeks after I'd transferred my savings. My fingers trembled as I tapped through to Landon's profile. More photos loaded. Him shopping at high-end boutiques in Paris, dining at Michelin-starred restaurants in Rome, posing in front of luxury hotels in Venice. And there, in the comments of every single photo, were my parents' enthusiastic responses. "Living your best life, son. So proud." "Dad, my beautiful boy seeing the world." "Mum." The phone slipped from my numb fingers, clattering onto my desk. The sound echoed in my silent apartment as reality crashed down around me. There was no medical emergency. There were no hospital bills. There was no threat of foreclosure. Just my brother living it up in Europe on my money while our parents cheered him on. My screen lit up with a new notification. Another photo from Landon, fresh from his Mediterranean adventure. This time, he was sprawled across first-class airplane seats, caption reading, "Why work hard when you can work smart?" Dad had already commented, "That's my boy." I felt something crack inside me. Not my heart, but something harder and colder. something that had always believed in the goodness of family, in the truth of family first. My hands weren't shaking anymore as I opened my laptop and created a new document. At the top, I typed, "Evidence of fraud. They taught me family comes first. They never expected I'd put myself first instead." "Girl, slow down before you have an aneurysm," Jasmine said, watching me furiously scroll through Landon's Instagram feed. We were sitting in her apartment, empty wine glasses between us, my laptop screen casting a harsh glow on our faces. "And look at this!" I jabbed my finger at the screen. "5-star hotel in Santorini, posted exactly 1 week after they begged me for money. $7,000 per night, Jazz. 7,000. "How do you know the price?" "Because I found the hotel's website. Same suite, same view. He didn't even try to hide it." I clicked through more photos. Here's the receipt for a shopping spree in Milan that he accidentally left visible in the background. Zoom in. Jasmine leaned closer, squinting. 23,000 euros! Jesus Christ! My phone buzzed. A text from Mum. "Hope you're taking care of yourself, sweetheart. Remember to eat dinner." "The audacity," I whispered, showing Jasmine the message. "She's texting me about eating dinner while my money is funding their little prince's European vacation." I opened Instagram again, this time clicking through to Malachi West's profile, the influencer Landon had been partying with. His latest post showed them both at a yacht party in Nice. "Your brother's new bestie has 3 million followers," Jasmine noted. "How'd that happen? Let's find out." I started reading comments, following threads. "Look, Landon met him at some exclusive club opening in Monaco. Malachi thinks our family owns a hotel chain or something. That's what Landon's been telling people." I switched to my email and composed a message to Mom. "Hey Mom, quick question. How are those hospital bills working out? Just wanted to check if you need any help with the paperwork. Love you." The response came suspiciously fast. "Oh, honey, don't worry about that right now. We're handling it. Focus on your work." XOXO. "Not even trying to keep the lie straight," I muttered. Jasmine grabbed my phone. "Teresa, breathe. You're shaking." "I can't help it." My voice cracked. "Do you know what I gave up for that money? I haven't been to therapy in 6 months because I was saving. I haven't bought new work clothes in a year. I've been eating frozen vegetables to cut costs." Meanwhile, I pulled up another photo. Landon in Florence, posing outside the exact Louis Vuitton store I'd walked past 2 years ago while working on a project there. I remembered pressing my nose against the window, promising myself I'd come back someday when I could afford the bag I'd fallen in love with. The same bag was now hanging from my brother's shoulder in the photo. "Your mum just commented on it," Jasmine pointed out. Sure enough, such a fashionable son, making Mama proud. My phone buzzed again, a family group chat notification. Mum was organising our weekly Zoom game night. "Perfect," I said, a cold clarity settling over me. "I think it's time for a little family chat." "Teresa," Jasmine's voice held a warning, "don't do anything crazy." "Oh, I won't." I started typing notes in my evidence document. "I'm going to be very, very calm. I'm going to ask about Florence, about the hospital bills, about everything, and I'm going to watch them lie to my face. And then what?" I looked up at my best friend, feeling something hard and determined solidify in my chest. Then I'm going to make them regret ever thinking they could get away with this. My phone lit up with a new Instagram notification. Landon had just posted a video from his hotel suite, laughing as he popped another champagne bottle. "Some people waste their lives working 9 to 5, his caption read. "Smart ones know there's always an easier way." Dad's comment appeared instantly. "Proud of our boy living his best life." Jasmine watched me carefully as I screenshot everything, methodically saving it to my growing evidence folder. "You okay?" "No," I replied honestly. "But I will be. They wanted to play games with my money. Fine, let's play. But this time, I'm making the rules. I opened my calendar and marked the upcoming family Zoom call. For the first time since discovering the betrayal, I felt my lips curve into a smile. It wasn't a happy one. "You know what the worst part is?" I said, closing my laptop. They really thought I was too stupid to ever find out, too trusting, too loyal. I looked at Jasmine. They forgot who taught me about family loyalty in the first place. My phone buzzed one final time, Mum sending heart emojis in the family chat, confirming everyone for game night. I sent back a single thumbs up, already planning exactly how this game would end. "Everyone ready for Pictionary?" Mum's voice crackled through my laptop speakers. Her face beamed at me from the Zoom window, perfectly made up despite it being a casual family game night. Dad sat beside her, and Landon's window showed an empty hotel room with muffled party sounds in the background. "Actually," I said, keeping my voice light, "I wanted to ask you something first, Mum. Have you ever been to Florence?" She blinked. "Florence? No, honey. Why?" "That's weird." I tilted my head. "Because I was there 2 years ago for work. Beautiful city. There was this amazing Louis Vuitton store on Via di Tornabuoni. Ring any bells?" Mum's smile flickered slightly. "I wouldn't know anything about that." "No, because you left 3 heart emojis on Landon's photo in front of that exact store last week." The silence that followed was deafening. Dad cleared his throat. "Teresa, what's this about?" "Oh, just curious about the family's recent travels." I clicked through my prepared tabs. "Mum, remember when I had to skip my therapy sessions to save money? You were so worried about my anxiety. That was right before the hospital emergency, wasn't it?" "Sweetheart," Mum started, but I cut her off. Then Dad, remember when I couldn't afford to fly home for Christmas? You said you understood because times were tough for everyone. That was interesting timing too, because right after that, Landon posted about his new gaming setup. What was it, $5,000? Landon's camera suddenly turned on, showing him sprawled on a poolside lounger. "What's your problem, sis?" "My problem?" I laughed, the sound hollow. "My problem is that I've been going through old texts. It's fascinating how many times you've all needed emergency money right before Landon got something expensive." "Teresa," Dad's voice turned stern, "I don't like your tone. And I don't like being robbed by my own family, but here we are." Mum's eyes welled with tears. "How could you say such things? After everything we've done for you, everything you've done for me?" I pulled up the bank transfer receipt. "You mean like taking my entire life savings under false pretenses? Those hospital bills must be pretty light, considering Landon hit every luxury destination in Europe right after." "It's not what you think," Mum insisted. "Really? Because I think you lied to my face. I think you watched me skip meals and work myself sick to save that money, then handed it to your precious son for a vacation." Landon sat up scowling. "You're just jealous because I know how to enjoy life while you waste yours working like a sucker." "A sucker?" I felt my composure crack. "I paid for your little European adventure, you entitled brat. That was my money." "Teresa!" Dad's voice turned threatening. "You're being hysterical. We're family. Family helps each other." "Helps each other?" I pulled up more screenshots. "Like how you helped by commenting, 'Proud of our boy,' on every photo of him spending my money. Or how Mum helped by lying about medical bills while liking posts of Landon in first class." "You don't understand." Mum started crying harder. "Oh, I understand perfectly. I understand that every time I sacrificed something to help you, it went straight to him. I understand that you watched me struggle and said nothing. I understand that you thought I was too stupid to ever figure it out." Landon snorted. "Well, you did fall for it." The casual cruelty in his voice made something snap inside me. I opened my final tab, a folder labelled Receipts. You know what else I understand? Bank fraud, wire transfers made under false pretenses, tax implications of large cash gifts. Would the IRS be interested in understanding too? The colour drained from Dad's face. You wouldn't dare. Try me. I leaned closer to the camera. I have every message, every transfer, every Instagram post. I have proof you lied about medical emergencies to commit fraud. I have evidence of Landon bragging about scamming his own sister. Teresa, please, Mum sobbed. We're family. No. I felt eerily calm now. Family doesn't do this. Family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't laugh while watching their daughter struggle. What do you want? Dad demanded. Right now, I want you to sit there and realise what you've done. I want you to understand that every lie, every manipulation, every betrayal, I have proof of all of it. And I want you to wonder what I'm going to do with that proof. Landon's face had lost its smirk. You're bluffing. Am I? I smiled coldly. Keep checking your Instagram comments. Keep watching your backs. Keep wondering when and how I'll use everything I've found, because this isn't over, not by a long shot. I ended the call before they could respond, watching their faces freeze in various stages of panic and realization. My hands were steady as I closed my laptop. They thought they'd played me. They had no idea I was just getting started. Look at this, Jasmine said, pointing at her screen. We were huddled in my home office, surrounded by takeout containers and energy drinks. The hotel booking confirmation in the background of this photo? It's dated 2 months before your parents asked for money. I leaned in closer. Can you enhance it? Already did. She zoomed in on the blurry document visible on the hotel desk behind Landon. Booked under Veronica, your mum's name. They planned this whole thing. My colleague Summer, who joined our investigation after hearing my story, whistled from her spot on the couch. That's cold. They literally orchestrated this scam. Wait, there's more. Jasmine pulled up another tab. Remember that influencer, Malachi? He just posted a story about their epic Mediterranean adventure with a link to their full itinerary. I clicked through the photos, my stomach turning. First-class flights, luxury hotels, private yacht tours. This isn't just my savings. This is way more than $48,000. They must have pooled money from other scams, Summer suggested. You said this wasn't the first time they'd asked for emergency help, right? I opened my banking app, scrolling through years of transactions. $2,000 here for car repairs, $5,000 there for property taxes. Every single time, Landon got something new shortly after. My phone buzzed. A message from Mum. Baby, please call us. We can explain everything. There's another emergency we need to discuss. The audacity, Jasmine muttered, reading over my shoulder. They're still trying to scam you. I ignored the message, focusing instead on a notification from Instagram. Malachi had responded to my DM asking about the trip. Oh man, your brother's graduation gift was epic. Your parents really went all out. Must be nice having a family in the hotel business. Hotel business? Summer frowned. What hotel business? There isn't one. I screenshot the message. Just another lie Landon's been spreading. I pulled up my evidence document, now dozens of pages long. Look at this pattern. Every time they asked for money, it was always an emergency, always urgent, always life or death, and every time Landon would suddenly have new expensive things. But why? Summer asked. Why favour him so blatantly? Because he's the baby, I said bitterly, the precious son who can do no wrong. Meanwhile, I was the responsible one they could always count on to bail them out. My laptop pinged with a new email alert. It was from my bank, responding to my fraud inquiry about the wire transfer. Miss Santiago, we've reviewed the transfer in question. Since the funds were sent willingly and the receiving account belongs to your mother, this would be considered a civil matter rather than criminal fraud. However, given the circumstances you've described. They're not going to help, I sighed, closing the email. Maybe not, Jasmine said slowly, but look at this. She pointed to a series of metadata tags on Landon's posts. These photos were all taken with your mum's phone. She was there with him. The realization hit like a punch to the gut. She was on vacation with him while begging me for money. Summer grabbed my laptop, typing quickly. And look, her credit card shows up in the corner of this receipt. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. Princess, your mother's crying. How could you treat us this way? We raised you better than this. Better than what? I snapped at the phone. Better than lying. Better than stealing. Better than watching your daughter struggle while funding your son's luxury lifestyle? Jasmine put a hand on my shoulder. Hey, we've got enough evidence now. What's the plan? I looked at my screen, at the growing folder of proof, at the desperate messages from my parents, at Landon's smug posts about living his best life. They want to play family, I said, opening my email. Let's show their whole social circle what kind of family they really are. What are you going to do? Summer asked. I started typing. First, I'm sending everything to their church board. Mum's the treasurer there. They should know how she handles money. Then Dad's workplace ethics hotline. Then every family member and friend who's ever given them money for an emergency. They'll try to spin it, Jasmine warned. Let them try. I hit send on the first email. I have receipts, timestamps, bank records, their own social media post bragging about it. Let's see them explain that to their precious reputations. My phone lit up with another message from Landon. You think you're safe because you're righteous? Watch your back. I showed the threat to Jasmine and Summer, smiling coldly. Perfect. Now I have proof of intimidation too. The evidence folder was complete. The emails were ready. My finger hovered over the send button that would blast their scam wide open. Ready? Jasmine asked. I thought about all the nights I'd gone hungry to save money, all the times I'd believed their lies, all the sacrifices I'd made while they laughed behind my back. Ready? Click. Send all. Let the show begin. The chaos started exactly 47 minutes after I hit send. First came the flood of text messages from Mom. What have you done? Followed by, please stop this. And finally, your father is having chest pains. Nice try, I muttered, remembering their fake medical emergency. My phone rang. Dad's work number. I let it go to voicemail. Then Mum's church friend Susan called, then Aunt Maria, then Uncle Pete. Your inbox is blowing up, Jasmine noted, watching notifications pour in. Good. I opened my laptop to check the damage. Let's see. Dad's boss has opened an ethics investigation. The church board is calling an emergency meeting. And look, Landon's Instagram comments are filling up with people asking about the fraud. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Malachi West. Hey, need to talk ASAP. Your brother told me your family owns hotels. Just got some concerning emails. Before I could respond, Mum's contact photo lit up my screen. Against my better judgment, I answered on speaker. Teresa! She was crying hysterically. How could you do this to us? To your own family? That's funny, I replied calmly. I was about to ask you the same thing. Your father's been suspended from work. The church is investigating your finances. Good. Maybe they'll find out what happened to the renovation fund too. Dad's voice cut in. You listen here, young lady. No, you listen. My voice was ice. I have proof of every lie, every manipulation, every cent you stole. Want me to keep going? Because trust me, I haven't even started. We're your parents. Parents don't steal from their children. A new voice joined the call. Landon, obviously drunk. You stupid Careful, brother dear, this call is being recorded. That shut him up. Here's what's going to happen, I continued. You're going to admit what you did. To everyone. No more lies, no more excuses. Or tomorrow I release the rest of the evidence. What rest? Landon demanded. The hotel bookings in Mum's name, the credit card statements, your Instagram DMs bragging about scamming me. Should I go on? Silence. Oh, and Landon, Malachi might want to know you've been lying about the family hotel business. I hear influencers don't like being deceived about sponsorship opportunities. You wouldn't, he growled. I pulled up his messages to Malachi. My family owns luxury hotels across Europe. We should collaborate. Try me? Mum started sobbing again. Please, we can work this out privately, as a family. Family? I laughed. You want to talk about family now? Where was family when I was skipping meals to save money? Where was family when you watched me work myself sick while funding Landon's vacation? We just wanted, Dad started, to help your precious son live his best life. Yeah, I saw your comments, all of them. Hope it was worth it. My laptop pinged, an email from Dad's company HR department requesting an interview about the ethics complaint. Your reputation meant everything to you, didn't it? I continued. The perfect family, the devoted parents, the successful son. How's that working out now? What do you want? Dad's voice was desperate. I want you to feel what I felt, the horror of watching your whole world collapse, the betrayal of realizing people you trusted were laughing at you behind your back. Landon scoffed. You're just jealous. Ma, of what? Being a parasitic fraud who lives off stolen money? No thanks. I prefer earning my way. My phone buzzed with another notification. Malachi had unfollowed Landon and posted a story. Disturbing news about recent travel companions. More details coming soon. Looks like your influencer friend found out the truth, I said. Wonder how many of his millions of followers will see it. You're destroying this family, Mom wailed. No, you did that when you chose to steal from your daughter. I could hear them all talking over each other now, Mom crying, Dad threatening, Landon cursing. One more thing, I cut through their noise. Check your email, I just sent you something. I heard the notification ding on their end, followed by shocked silence as they opened the attachment, a complete timeline of their fraud, with every receipt, message and social media post meticulously documented. This goes public tomorrow, I said. Unless you want to tell the truth now, your choice. You wouldn't, Dad whispered. I already did. Check your church's Facebook page. More frantic clicking sounds, then Mum's gasp as she found my detailed post exposing everything. The truth hurts, doesn't it? I said softly, almost as much as watching your own family betray you. I ended the call mid-protest, watching as the views on my church post climbed into the hundreds. You okay? Jasmine asked quietly. I looked at my phone as messages continued pouring in, my parents' carefully constructed facade crumbling in real time. No, I answered honestly, but I will be. The aftermath was like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. Your father's been placed on indefinite leave, Aunt Maria told me over the phone. The company's auditing every expense report he's ever submitted. I was at Summer's apartment, watching my parents' world unravel through social media updates and family gossip. Each revelation sparked another. Did you know, my cousin Rachel messaged, that they asked me for $8,000 last year for emergency dental work? Guess whose teeth mysteriously didn't need fixing after all? The church board's investigation uncovered missing renovation funds. Mum's treasurer position was suspended pending a full audit. Her social circle, once so carefully cultivated, turned toxic overnight. I always knew something was off, her friend Susan posted publicly. Who begs for help with medical bills while their son posts about yacht parties? Malachi West's exposé dropped like a bomb. The truth about my Mediterranean collab partner. His millions of followers watched him detail how Landon had fabricated a luxury hotel empire to gain influence. Your brother's trying to damage control, Jasmine said, showing me his desperate Instagram story. All these lies about my family are just jealous haters. The comments were brutal. Jealous of what? Being a fraud? Imagine stealing from your own sister. Trust fund baby mad his scam got exposed. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. "The neighbours won't even look at us anymore. Are you happy now?" Before I could respond, Summer grabbed my arm. "Look at this." She pointed to her screen, where a Reddit post was going viral. My brother stole my life savings for a luxury vacation with receipts. Someone had pieced together the story from social media and church gossip. "Holy shit," Jasmine whispered. The comments. Thousands of responses poured in. "My family did this to me too. Financial abuse is still abuse. Sue them. Name and shame." My laptop pinged with an email notification. "From Dad's company, Ms. Santiago, following your ethics report, we've uncovered concerning patterns in your father's expense accounts. Would you be willing to provide a formal statement?" They found something, I told Summer and Jasmine, something bigger than just my situation. Another notification, this time from Malachi West's manager. "Your brother threatened legal action over the expose. We have his texts admitting the fraud. Would you like copies?" "The house of cards is collapsing," Summer said softly. My phone lit up with an unknown number. The voicemail was Landon, slurring his words. "You think you're so fucking smart? Watch your back, sis. You have no idea what's coming." I forwarded the threat to my lawyer. Yes, I had one now, and opened my email. Time to twist the knife. "Dear Church Board," I typed, "attached, please find documentation of additional financial discrepancies." "You're really going for the jugular," Jasmine observed. "They went for mine first." I hit send. "Besides, I'm not doing anything but telling the truth. They're the ones who chose to lie." A notification popped up. Mom had posted on Facebook. "Heartbroken by false accusations from our own daughter. Please pray for our family during this difficult time." The comments were not what she expected. False, we all saw the proof. Using prayer to deflect responsibility. "How many others did you scam?" Dad tried calling again. I declined, sending him straight to a voicemail message I'd recorded. "If you're calling about the ethics investigation, please contact my lawyer." "Your Instagram's blowing up," Summer noted. Thousands of followers had appeared overnight, drawn by the drama. Direct messages flooded in. "You inspired me to stand up to my toxic family." "Thank you for exposing financial abuse. Your story helped me recognize the signs." I opened my laptop and started typing a new post. "To everyone sharing similar stories, you're not alone. Family loyalty shouldn't mean setting yourself on fire to keep others warm." "What are you doing?" Jasmine asked. "Converting my pain into purpose." I continued typing. "If my story helps even one person recognize financial abuse." My phone buzzed one final time, an email notification. "You think you're safe because you're righteous? Watch your back." The sender was anonymous, but the writing style was unmistakably Landon's. I forwarded it to my lawyer with one line: "Add this to the restraining order documentation." Summer squeezed my shoulder. "You okay?" I looked at my screen, at the thousands of people finding their own strength through my story, at my parents' crumbling facade, at my brother's desperate threats. "I'm better than okay," I replied, starting to type again. "I'm finally free." "He's outside your building," Jasmine's voice crackled through my phone. "Summer just saw him in the lobby." I moved away from my apartment windows, heart pounding. "Landon's here?" "He looks drunk. Security's already called the police." I heard the elevator ding through my door, followed by heavy footsteps in the hallway, then pounding on my door. "Open up, sis!" Landon's voice was slurred. "We need to talk about what you've done." I pressed record on my phone. "The only thing I've done is tell the truth." "You ruined everything!" More pounding. "Dad lost his job. Mom can't show her face at church. My followers think I'm a fraud." "You are a fraud," I called back, keeping my distance from the door. "You stole my money and bragged about it online. It wasn't stealing. Family helps family." Is that what you told Malachi? Because his new video about your lies has 10 million views. Something hit my door hard, probably his fist. You think you're so perfect, the responsible daughter, the honest one? You're just jealous because Mum and Dad love me more. I laughed, the sound bitter. Love you more? They enabled you to become a parasitic fraud who can't survive without stealing from others. That's not love. At least I know how to enjoy life. While you waste yours working honestly for my money? Yeah, how terrible of me. I checked my phone. Police were in the building. By the way, this conversation is being recorded. Want to confess to any more fraud? You bitch! His voice cut off as elevator doors opened and multiple footsteps approached. Sir, step away from the door. A firm police voice. We've had complaints about disturbance and threats. This is family business, Landon protested. Family business doesn't include threatening behaviour. Please put your hands behind your back. I watched through my peephole as they led him away, still yelling about family loyalty and revenge. My phone buzzed with texts from Mum. How could you call the police on your own brother? We raised you better than this. He's just upset about what you've done to our family. I blocked her number. Hours later, I sat with Summer in her apartment, watching Malachi West's latest video blow up, The Truth About Landon, Part 2, with screenshots of him bragging about bleeding his sister dry and proof of his luxury hotel empire lies. 3 million views in 2 hours, Summer noted. Your brother's influencer career is officially dead. My phone lit up with a news alert. Dad's company had released a statement. Following internal investigation, we regret to announce the termination of Roy, redacted for multiple instances of financial misconduct. They found more than just your situation, Summer said softly. They found years of fraud, I confirmed. He was expense reporting personal purchases as business costs, using company cards for family vacations, all while I was killing myself to save money they stole. Summer was quiet for a moment. Can I tell you something about why I understood your situation so well? I turned to face her. My family did something similar, she continued. Not as extreme, but they'd guilt me into giving them money, then post about luxury purchases. When I finally stood up to them, they called me selfish, ungrateful, sound familiar. What did you do? What you're doing now. I exposed the truth, cut contact, built my own life. She smiled sadly. It hurts at first, but eventually you realize family isn't supposed to drain you dry. My phone buzzed, an email from the police. Miss Santiago regarding the restraining order against Landon, redacted, given today's incident and documented threats. They're granting it, I told Summer. He can't come near me now. Good. She squeezed my hand. You know what's crazy? Your Reddit post about this has inspired hundreds of people to share their own stories. You're helping others recognize financial abuse. I opened Reddit, reading through comments. Thanks to your post, I finally saw what my family was doing to me. It gave me courage to check my parents' stories about emergencies. First time I felt validated about cutting off toxic family. Maybe that's the silver lining, I said. All this pain helps others avoid the same trap. My laptop pinged. Another news alert. Mum had been removed from the church board. The audit had found years of misappropriated funds. Their whole house of cards, Summer mused, built on lies and manipulation, and now it's burning down. I closed my laptop. You know what's weird? I don't even feel angry anymore, just free. Summer nodded. Because you finally put yourself first. That's not selfish, it's survival. My phone showed one final notification, a text from an unknown number. Saw your story. Thank you for showing me I'm not alone. I'm leaving my toxic family today. I smiled, feeling something heal inside me. They taught me family comes first. They never expected I'd learn that includes me. Ready to hit publish? Jasmine asked, watching me hover over the submit button. I looked at my screen, at the blog post I'd titled The True Cost of Family Loyalty. Everything was there, the manipulation, the theft, the aftermath. Not just my story anymore, but a guide for others to recognize the signs. Almost. I added one final line. They taught me family comes first. I finally learned that includes myself. Click. Published. My phone immediately lit up with notifications. The post was spreading like wildfire across social media, reshared by financial abuse survivors and advocacy groups. Look at this, Summer pointed to her laptop. Your parents' church just announced a new financial accountability program. They're citing your case as the reason. I checked my email. Another message from Dad's former company. Your testimony helped uncover systematic fraud. Would you consider speaking at our corporate ethics training? They want me to teach others how to spot financial manipulation, I told my friends. Turn this mess into something meaningful. My phone buzzed. A text from Aunt Maria. Just saw Landon at the grocery store, working as a bagger. Quite a change from those yacht parties. I opened Instagram out of curiosity. Landon's profile, once full of luxury travel shots, was gone. Malachi West's exposé had destroyed his influencer dreams. His last post before deleting everything. Sometimes rock bottom has a basement. Your mum's trying to damage control again, Jasmine noted, showing me Facebook. Mum had posted, praying for healing in our family. Sometimes those we love most hurt us deepest. The comments were ruthless. Maybe stop stealing from your daughter? Prayers won't replace her savings. Take responsibility for once. I closed Facebook and opened my banking app instead. My new savings account at a different bank showed a healthy balance growing. No more emergency drains, no more guilt-fueled transfers. Speaking of savings, Summer said, show them the course website. I pulled up my latest project, Financial Freedom from Family Fraud, a digital course helping others spot and escape financial abuse. Over 1,000 pre-orders already, I told them. Every sale helps fund resources for other survivors. My laptop pinged, an email from a major women's magazine. Your story resonates with so many readers. Would you consider writing a monthly column about financial independence and family boundaries? Look who viewed your LinkedIn, Jasmine pointed. Dad's former colleagues, financial advisors, family counsellors, all wanting to connect. From victim to expert, Summer mused. That's what I call karma. My phone buzzed with a final desperate text from Mum. Please remove that blog post. We're still your parents. We still love you. I typed back, love doesn't steal, love doesn't lie, love doesn't watch someone struggle while funding another's luxury. I'm not the daughter you raised anymore. I'm the woman who survived you. Then I blocked her number too. You okay? Jasmine asked softly. Better than okay. I opened my course platform where hundreds of messages waited from people sharing similar stories. Their betrayal tried to break me. Instead, it gave me purpose. Summer raised her coffee cup to turning pain into power and fraud into freedom, Jasmine added. I looked at my screen, at all the lives being touched by my story, at all the people finding strength to stand up to their own toxic families. You know what the best revenge is? I said, opening my calendar full of speaking engagements and consulting requests. Living well and helping others do the same. My phone lit up with another message, this time from a domestic violence shelter. Your financial abuse resources are helping our clients recognize red flags. Would you consider training our staff? I typed back an immediate yes. They thought stealing my savings would break me, I told my friends. Instead, it built something bigger than they could imagine. Jasmine smiled. From family fraud to financial freedom fighter. With a restraining order against your brother, Summer added. And a growing empire built on truth, I finished, looking at my thriving business accounts. My laptop showed another notification, my blog post hitting viral status. The comments poured in. You saved my life. Finally, left my toxic family. Teaching my daughters about financial independence. I closed my laptop, feeling peaceful for the first time in months. They wanted me to stay silent. They expected me to stay loyal. They thought they could break me. Instead, I built an army of survivors. Instead, I turned their betrayal into a beacon. Instead, I learned the most important family lesson. Sometimes cutting ties sets you free.